Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Soooooooo review day. It is Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. Today, we are playing a game known as Airport CEO. It is a couple of years old. It's still a fun game, especially if you just kind of want to, like, finagle with stuff. It has its own issues, but don't worry, we're not going to get super heavy into that kind of stuff. We're going to skip past the tutorial and everything like that, granted, because the game basically gives you a tutorial to start, like, hey, you got to do certain things before you get there. When you click New Airport, you are allowed to create a person, which is the CEO, and then it brings you a map. So we'll kind of just get going here. Yeah, I don't want an airport down there. So what's really nice about this game is you get this map to select where your airport should go. And you can easily select wherever you want. So, like, if I select down here, it's like, oh, this is the closest city to here kind of deal. You can't select in the middle of the ocean. It has to be on land. But it will give you, it's stuff here. So it says, hey, it's like a tropical area. It very rarely snows. That's why it rains all the time. Domestic airports and region, there's 750. Nearest city's Fort Myers. Humidity. It's humid. Atmospheric pressure is average, and then the cloudiness is just somewhat average. Let's go for, let's see. I want somewhere with a lot of rain. I would love somewhere with lots of rain. Okay, why no rain? The fact that it keeps saying rare is kind of stupid. That's fine. You know what? Let's just do it in... Let's just do it in London. I don't live in London. I live in the United States, so we're going to do it here. So, de-icing, that needs to happen during winter. So, de-icing needed during winter, so it snows frequently, rarely. Average temperature, it's a temperate. Common for its wind, very humid, all the good stuff. We're just going to hit continue. And the solo bro. So... TSB. Now, you can absolutely adjust what you look like. You can change your logo. I like that one. We're going to do a large map. I don't necessarily want to do sandbox because that gives like 100, like all the money. So we're going to kind of make this a little hard. And we're going to make this... We'll make this moderate. So... a couple things that I do want to mention. There are emergency events. So basically, if something happens, you have to handle the emergency as it is. You will have different things that you have to handle, and that's kind of what the game will teach you about a little bit. So we're going to let the game load. So it's going to build the game world. Now, what I really like about this game is it's kind of realistic. Kind of. And we'll kind of talk about that realism here in a second because there's some things that it gets realistic and some things that are like, okay, this is absolutely arcadey. Oh, big stretch. I'm so sorry. All right. So first thing you start right here on your area. You get a couple of plots here, so it's actually somewhat large. Can't necessarily scroll slowly, but we're going to start the introduction to kind of get everything here. So down here's your build panel, dashboard. So so pressing tab will bring you to this. I'm going to go over all this here in a second. I don't care. Okay, cool. Stop. Okay, so at the very bottom, this is your build panel. So terminal is everything that's going to relate to your terminal. So you get your terminal foundation. You can add floors. You could actually separate walls. You get different kinds of doors. You can add windows, trash cans, highly recommend, vending machines. You can add lights and even fences. Zones. So there's a staff only zone, a bathroom zone, and a staff room. And then you have the actual like infrastructure. So there's like a world entrance tunnel. So where people come in and out. Public road, service road, so this is going to be for, like, your people on the tarmac. A one-way road, so similar to, like, right here, it's one way. vehicle checkpoint, so that's where you're going to kind of separate the tarmac from like the people. Sidewalks, crosswalks, contractor sites, we'll go into that in a second. Delivery sites, same thing, that's where you deliver your resources. Bus stops for people, and then you get like bus shelters here, car stop, taxi stop, and public parking lots. And then so on and so forth. So it kind of just keeps going down. So like air traffic control towers, runways, again, staff stuff. So office desks, bathroom. Eventually, we're going to get conveyor belt systems. That has to be researched. Desks to check people in. Security, shops, restaurants, airline lounges, and then seating. You will need this. You do want some sort of decorations, and then you have templates for saving. Now, it wants us to sign a contract here to get builders. So that's where this... Brain's not functioning. I'm so sorry. That's where your dashboard kind of comes into play. So you press tab to open up the dashboard, and that's kind of where everything is. So this will tell you kind of a little bit about everything right now. We don't get the weather until we build a weather station. Can't see statistics until we get a CIO. This is your email, so it talks about like certain things here. This is your operations, so like you can allow general aviation, distribute evenly among available runways, proactive cleaning, ramp agents. Like there's a lot of stuff here, and you can even like light control. You could do R&D projects, so this is your research. I'm going to leave that blank for now. And this is construction. This is where it wants us to kind of go here. But you can also go straight into economy to do this. So you do have other contracts here. So this is going to be like your budget overview, your fees. So kind of what you charge for everything, what the airport charges, loans that you'll take. I don't ever take them here. These are accepted contracts, so contracts you've accepted, and then this is pending. We'll go and accept that in a second. This is staff, so this is applications or applicants. The bigger the green, the better. Let's see here. You have shifts that you can do eventually, and this is your executive committee, and this is vehicles. You can buy vehicles like fuel trucks, but we'll get into that again here soon. Statistics, and then this is kind of like the tutorial. We're already in it right now. So we're going to go sign a contract. I like Berkeley because it's a 3-star. Typically, when you kind of start, you want to get like a 3-star thing right now. So now it's saying, hey, we need to deploy some contractors. So, cool. I don't want that many. Now, what's really interesting is it'll tell you here, max deployable contractors, you have up to 123, but every contractor costs $6.60 per hour they're deployed. So, at some point later in the game, you can actually reconfigure this contract. So, for right now, we're not going to get that many. We're going to get, hold on. Sadly, you have no way to change this number except by clicking plus and minus. We're going to deploy 50... Yep. Now you hear, of course, the phone dialing and stuff like that. Yeah. Email inbox, 1 email. Yep, good. All right, cool. Now we're going to unpause the game. Now, why it's saying... I'm going to unpause. We're going to fast forward here. It comes in, and they'll drop them off at this contractor spot here. So now it's going to say, hey, we need to build an airfield. So... sometimes these lakes kind of become an issue, just a little bit, but it's saying, hey, you need to build a runway. So aircraft infrastructure, I always do asphalt. I do not do the basic stuff. Never. We're going to do, well, we can build on the lake. It'll fill it in. We're going to build it. I need enough room for fences and drivables. We'll build it here. And now it says place 2 runway ramps. Okay, we can do that. So we're going to do 1 ramp here. And we're going to do 1 ramp down here. So you want one on every end, because this is where the airplanes will come in and come out. Now it's saying, okay, you need to drag out a taxiway. So that's going to be this foundation here. This is a little different. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're not going to do this very big. We're going to just kind of do it just enough to where... I want to check something here. We need... Nope. Don't need that, don't need that, or that, or that, or that right now. That's fine. So now it's saying, well, place at least 5 small stands. So we'll actually get that done here. You want... Here, I'll zoom in a little bit. There's 2 ways to do this, and as you see there, there's a person and there's a plane. The plane needs to be facing the tarmac. So we're going to do it right here, and we're just going to kind of build it along the side. 4 and 5. Just like that. Now, we're going to wait for the construction of all this to finish. So, actually, what I'll do is I'll actually bring in some more contractors here just to get this done here. We're going to go contracts. Nope, I need operations. Construction, max it out. We have 1,000,005. So, it's saying right here in the bottom right, airport status, red, just turned off. Can't do shite. I don't know if the tutorial... Oh, yeah, here. The tutorial's kind of doing it. But it's saying, well, now we need taxi pathway. So we need to make a pathway from here. We need to go all the way around. And this is not 5. Hold on. Ramp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there we go. Much better. We need to say, okay, well, we need to take these and we need to make a taxiway. So this is why I like building in 5s, because there is a middle line here, and this also allows for big planes. We will also make this a one-way, so we cannot enter here, I think. Hold on, let me just make sure. I think I have it like this, and then we're going to do... No, we're going to do like here. And we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Just like that. Yep, and it's left to right. So that's how we want it. We want them to land here, come in, and then leave here. So now it's saying place a small ATC tower. So air traffic control tower. We're going to place this. Let's do... Nope, not that one. Aircraft, infrastructure. We're going to put it... Let's put it over here. Right there. And then while we're kind of waiting for this, we're going to get some service roads here. And then we'll just wait for that to get built. And just like that, it's all done. So now it's saying, okay, well, now it's time to accept your first flight. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, the airport is open. Just like that. Now, as you see, oh no, you can't land. You actually need to attach these taxiways to the front of these. So we're going to do it one at a time here. Just like that. But it's still saying object is non-functional. Well, why is that? Arrival airway not runway not connected, departure not connected. So we need to turn this boy on, but we also need to turn on general aviation. Just like that. And then we go up to here and we turn this on. Look at that, all done. Now we'll start getting airplanes. As you see, it's all connected, it's working. So perfect. So we're just a very teeny tiny airport right now. There's the first plane. I'm just going to kind of wait. We're just going to wait. Now, as you see in the bottom right corner, our money, we're losing about 1,000 an hour. Not terrible, but not the best. But we also have this here. There is Airport of the Year awards. This kind of goes over how to get Airport of the Year. This will tell you about performance. So if you have a CFO hired at the end of each business day, they'll send you a report via email on your daily earnings and how you performed against yesterday. And a COO, they'll basically give you a report of incidents that occurred at your airport and other statistics. So it kind of just depends on how you want to go right away. I don't hire them till a little later, but as you see here, we've made a little bit of money. And then we lost it again because... because we kind of just... Yeah. Yep. Now we're going to pause. So get ready for GA flights to land. If land animals Enter the runway or taxiway. They cause damage to aircraft and slow taxis down. Build fences around your airport to keep animals out. So that's kind of why I built a big berth area. So we're going to do this. And we kind of come down to here. Want it to go here because that's where the edge of the thing's going to go here. Hold on. Destroy that. Now, I don't remember. Place at least one fence gate to make it easier for contractors. Yeah. We'll place it over here. And now we need to do... Because we're also going to want a patrol. So there are patrol vehicles that you will get in this game to kind of get stuff done. Now, I do need... Did you know? I didn't. Redeploy contractors. Okay, here we go. It needs us to construct one of these. So we're going to get this done. I'm going to get... Yeah. So as you see here, it tells you it has to come from basic road to service road. So we're going to put it... Let's do it right here. Just because it's in line. And then we'll grab this fence here because it ends here. We're going to go whoop. Gonna bring it all the way up. And then again, we're going to put some fences. Let's put fencing right, or a gate right here. Sure. And now we're going to wait for everything to build. Now, we also need the roads for this. So we do need the service road. So we're going to do asphalt. Now, I've just been building willy-nilly. There is operating costs to this. So as you see grass here, it's about $125 to build, but it's $1 to operate and cost that way. I believe it's $1 an hour. Asphalt's a little more expensive, but it's cheaper to operate per hour. I always go asphalt. Anything asphalt, always. We're going to build some roads here, so we're going to kind of go up to here and do that. All our contractors are just sitting there. We will eventually build a offshoot area over here for our contractors to go. That's what I usually do. And now we need a vehicle depot. So we're going to go back into the aircraft, and we're going to go vehicle depot. Now, typically... I don't remember where I built the gate. We don't want this too far away from the main area, so we're going to build it... Oh, I don't know. I didn't plan this properly. That's fine. Screw it, right there. Place a small gas 100 100. I don't know what LL means. So we need one of them. So we're gonna go back into here. We're gonna go into fuel, and we're gonna go. It fits perfectly right there, just like that. Now, what I also do is for anything that's typically within here, construction cost for this stuff is NA. So it's not saying it can't be constructed, but it definitely, like right here, it can't because the fence exists. So we got to kind of wait. But, yeah. Now we just wait. We wait, we wait, we wait. Now, like I said, this game does get very detailed, but see, these guys are not taking off. As I said that, it takes off. Of course it does. Just because... I don't care enough. And they're going to fly off. And fly in. Awesome. Now it's saying we're almost ready to offer fuel as a refueling service. So, any sneeze? So it's saying, okay, well, you need to purchase a fuel truck. So we actually can't just yet until we get the, this. There we go. It's built now. Cool. Yeah, there's the gate. Okay, the gate still exists. It's not like it matters because it's stuck. We'll put the gate here. Hold on. So fuel. So we need to go into vehicles, and we need to buy vehicles, and we need to buy, I typically do 2, but one's enough for now. Later, you will want to get duplicates of the same vehicle because you'll have so many runways that you kind of just don't know what to do with it. So, as it saw, it says it's going to take about an hour to get to us. It was $1,500, but its operating cost is $50 an hour. So, new product has arrived. As you see, it's driving here. I'm going to make... It'll automatically choose an area to park. I'm going to assign its parking to be this building so it permanently stays here. And that's it. Now we need a contract, a new one. So we're going to go into economy. We're going to go contract. All these fuel people kind of suck. I like Avi Fuel because it usually... So it's 144 liter. It's 29 cents per liter. So it's two different kinds of fuel that they provide. While if we go here, they're more expensive. So 152... 156, 41 cents per liter. This guy is so much cheaper. Always get the higher star ones. Always. Reject, 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 reject. And now we're going to wait for the aviation fuel supplier to refuel your depot. Now, you do not have to call them in automatically or on your own. The game does it automatically. So if you click on the fuel depot, there is a thing here. So it tells you what your max capacity is, tells you what kind of fuel it takes, fuel level, supplier, who it is. This is where you're going to, you can change it. So I'm just going to kind of finagle this a little bit. It'll say resupply 10%, max tank level 100. So we could say, I want to resupply whenever it gets to 50%. Beginning of the game, you don't want to do that, just leave it at 10%. So now what he's going to do is he's going to get some fuel, and he's going to go repark. Now, we're going to need to turn this on and say, hey, we offer fuel. So we're going to go right here, the AVGAS 100 LL Fuel Services. So now we need to refuel 5 of these planes. Now, what's really cool about this is you can click on each of these, and you can actually see what they want here, their turnaround progress. So it's saying refueling not requested. It will tell you what it needs, and there's even trash services, there's baggage loading, unloading, service round. This guy that just pulled in, he needs refueling. Now, while he's doing that, I'm also going to kind of get into some other stuff too. There are upgrades in this game that you can get. So runway is the first one. You could do PAPI lights. It just looks like this right here. I really could care less about those. But you can also upgrade it or downgrade it to grass, so it screws with its durability. And you do also want to pay attention to durability here. You do have to repair it every now and again. When it comes to these stands, you can also convert it to grass. A little later, there'll be other upgrades that you can get. And look, we have a private jet. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to kind of start building a airport. 300, 400, yeah, I'll do that. That's big enough. And the fence goes there. Yep. Perfect. And then what I'll probably do is I'll leave that there because later we can expand off to the right and we can just, we can do other stuff there. Now, as you see, these guys will go into each tile and they will build it. They'll come back here, grab it, and they'll go back and they'll just bing, 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 and that's it. While they're refueling, we're also going to do some other stuff. We're going to go infrastructure, asphalt. We want... we need... What was that? That's delivery site, contractor site. And we're just going to kind of do that. We'll expand this a little bit later. No. Needs to be bigger. Hold up. Now, right here, it's already saying you need to build your airport. So we'll put a door and all that stuff in here in a second. I just want to get this done here. Stop. Sorry, I have laundry going too. there. Again, we're just doing that, and we're down here. Okay, and then we'll make this a one-way. Okay, just like that. We're going to move the contractor site up to here, and then what we're also going to do, it's saying, hey, there needs to be at least one bus stop and one car drop-off. So, we're going to do this a little different. Typically, what I do, I don't do like, oh, all this is going to be a sidewalk. Not necessarily. I typically try to keep it not all a sidewalk until a little later. So we're going to kind of go here, and we're going to do what? It said car stop. Okay, so hold on. We're going to do 2 car stops, 2 taxis, 2 bus. Just like that. Probably could do another taxi stop. You know what? We'll do just that. And then we also need roads. So as you see here, it's saying, hey, we need roads to connect to us. So we're going to do... I do like building a double road because if people are turning in or they're waiting for a turn, some of these might be open, but if it's a single road, they can't get in kind of deal. So we're going to kind of do that. Do that. I'm going to go down to here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do that. Deconstruct, deconstruct. And then we're going to also go infrastructure, and we're going to make these one-way roads. Ow, I gotta itch my eye. I'm so sorry. Oh. We're gonna do that. Okay. So stops people from going in the wrong way. Now it's saying, well, you need to open the heat map. Doesn't really do a whole heck of a lot. It just tells you like where it's gonna be like display passenger statistics, walkable area, stuff like that. They will not walk. They try not to walk on grass at all. They would really prefer to not. Terminal. Forgot how to make it grass floor again. I don't know. Now it's saying, hey, you need a staff room. Okay, well, we're actually going to build the staff room here. I know I planned this around a parking garage, but that's my fault. So we're going to do... Oh, well... Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Have that here, and then we're going to do a crosswalk. Do a medium crosswalk. Oh. Yeah, so you can do Q and E if you want to look at it from a different direction. I don't really do that ever. It's at 30 minutes so far. It's okay. So we'll do it up here. And then we'll go back to terminal, and we're going to go to door. I said door. Build that, build that. You know what? We'll build some doors here. We'll build a door down here so that they don't have to walk so far. Let that build. Do a staff room. So we're going to do staff only. And do staff room. Place a few office desks. So it's going to kind of get us the way of like research right off the bat. So we're going to go to admin, and we'll make this a little bit of a longer episode. We'll just do 3. Yeah, we'll do 4. Now, as you see, we are running out of funds very, very quickly. Excuse me. We're just going to wait. Now decorate your terminal by putting some new floors. Whatever. Now, I do color code my terminals. Reason being is because I like to identify where, like, people are before they go through security. stuff like that. So we're going to kind of just do... I don't care. So 1, 2, right there. So 4, right there. Right here. Right there. Sure. I did put in new floors, sir. I did. Screw it. Orange floors for the staff room. And now it's saying, okay, well, now we need some plants. So, okay, cool. Sure. Okay, I don't really care about half of this, so we're going to go hire some administrators. So we're going to go to staff, we're going to go to applicants. Now, this is where it's going to be a little different. I typically don't like getting the orange ones or red ones. Orange I'm okay with, but I like to filter this. But it's saying, okay, well, you need some administrators. So we're gonna specify administrators. This will tell you, hey, this is what their salary is. Now, the better their skill, the less time they need to take breaks and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with that yellow one. He's okay. We're going to go into operations. This is where the R&D comes into play, and we're going to go get the commercial license. So we're going to start the project. And it's going to say, well, you need minimum to maximum of 5. We're actually probably going to... We'll get one more here in a second. Hold on one moment. Staff, desk, and then we'll get some more administrators here. Administrators I really could care less about, to be honest. You're asking too much. You're asking too much. Asking too much. I'll take you. Reject. Reject. Now this does refresh. But as you see here, the better the skill, the faster and more qualitative they perform their jobs. I'm sorry, my brain is just not functioning today. Go back to here. We still need one more. And we'll grab... And you can train them to be better, so it's not like they're like end-all be-all. And they keep kind of their crappy wage too. So it's not always a terrible idea to grab the bad ones and just train them. Now you can only train a few times, but that's it. So we're going to go back to operations, and we're going to max it out at 5. Now, staff do need to lounge when they go to relax, so we're going to kind of put in some, like... I'm going to put in some chairs here. Let's put... Sure. Let's put a couple there. Now it's saying, hey, you've done it. So... The first thing we're going to do is we need to build 2 small check-in desks. So we're going to grab... information desks are okay. They actually help people with like directions, departure time, stuff like that. I don't really buy them ever. But we need these. So we're going to keep it kind of like down here. I don't want it to go super duper far, but we're going to go small enough. Yeah, we'll go here. So we'll do that. And we'll do that. And then we're going to just segregate this wall here. So we're just going to... we're going to do this. And then we're going to do... kind of what they were doing. They're putting like decorations in between them here. And then we're going to do another wall. And we're going to just kind of go around here. And we're just going to... just for now. Yeah, for now. And we're going to get another little bit here. And we're going to just do this. Just because we want room to expand this in the future. And then we're going to do some doors. We're going to do a medium door here. Let's do the blue again. And then we need to make this zone behind us staff zone only. So only staff can be back here. Don't really want people coming back here, so we're going to kind of separate that to make sure people can't come back here, stuff like that. So we're going to go back to, we need flooring. Where's the floors? Floor, blue right here. And then we're going to do orange. Like I said, I will I usually mark my areas to identify where a staff zone is, where a secure zone is, stuff like that. So we're going to kind of let that build now. Now, zone a suitable part of the terminal as secure. So we're actually going to do all of this. So we're going to do, we want zones, we want secure zone. We're going to go all the way down to here. Do all of this. We're going to do this. Oh, not that much. Give me the secure zone. Right there. So all that's a secure zone. Now it says, well, we need security. So security is an interesting aspect to this game, and I actually do like that. It's an interesting aspect. We don't need this. Hold on. We'll do this. So it says, okay, well, you need security. So we'll grab a security booth. We're going to make this secure zone here so that we can kind of have all of this a little bit together here. We're going to do secure right there. And then we'll do a second one right here. So we need to delete that one. This wall here. Now there's a door here. I didn't plan for that. Hold on. Do this, and then we'll unsecure this zone. And then you hold left control to get rid of the zone, and then we're going to delete all that. Then we're going to go back to here, and we're going to grab security. And we're going to grab, nope, we need another secure zone here. And I will not end this episode until we get our first passengers on the plane. That's kind of the agreement I'll make with y'all. Then we're going to put carpete. Just like that. Now we have 2 security zones, and then we need a exit here. So we're going to put the exit... Is it big enough? It is. Right there. We're going to do that. And now we're just going to kind of wait until that's done. And we're going to do the exit right there. Now, as you see, there's a couple of things here. So there's like these lines and posts and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of just build this queue out a little bit. Oh, no, not that way. Not that way. Go this way, this way, this way. Nope. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And then we're going to do the exact same thing. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. Done. Just like that. And we're going to do the same thing with the security desk. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. That way, that way, that way, that way, that way. Done. Just like that. Now it's saying, well, you need to place a boarding desk near each stand adjacent to the terminal building and wait for them to be built. So, cool. Grab some desks. And now that's these green stands here. Now, I like to try to line these up with the walkways, and there's a reason for this. Because it will create a door on its own for this. And we're going to do this one. Need to check. Right there. Cool. And now we wait for those to get built. I could probably build a staff zone back here, but I want that to be part of the terminal. Now, we are going to want a little bit of seating, but what you're going to do is you'll click on each boarding desk and connect to the nearest stand adjacent to the terminal. So we're going to click on this connect stand. We're going to click right there. And then we're going to click this stand. And we're going to click right there. And then all we're going to do is we're going to select these. We're going to say, hey, you need to get out. We're going to dismiss him. And we're going to make it that. And we're going to dismiss this one. And we're going to make it... Come on. We're going to make it that. Now, as you see, this is why I said we want it as close as possible. So now we're going to want... let me see here. We're going to open the runway for commercial flights. So that's what's going to let commercial flights sit here. And all the good stuff. Now we need more staff. So we're going to pause. We're going to go to staff. We're going to hire. We need, let's see, we're going to need, I think, passenger server. Yep, passenger service agents. We're going to do kind of the cheaper ones if possible. We're going to do 10. Do the 12. We'll do the 12. Yeah, we'll do the 14. Then we need 4 security guards. Now, I want to mention, the better the security guard, the better security you have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Then we need 4 ramp agents. I'm going to do 1, 2. We'll go a little worse. Really? Okay. Sure. 3, 4. Why not? I want all 8. I want all the people here. Train, 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 train. Page 2. Train, 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 train. Yeah, sure. Now we gotta wait for everybody to arrive. And then we'll kind of get into how we schedule things. We also want seating for all this. Now, it is a small one, so we don't need major seating. So I typically just kind of do a couple of these. I don't do anything like super major. That's it, really. So now we need to go to operations, and we need to have ramp agent service round enabled. Now we're going to schedule stuff. So we need to sign contracts with flight people. Now, as you see, we're getting money for completing this stuff, so our funds haven't really dipped below $1 million, not until a little later. So we're going to go to the offered contracts. We're going to filter by airlines. Now, again, the better airlines typically will pay more, so we're going to do Havana, and we're going to do Trinity. So there you go, just like that. Now, we're going to go Flight Planner, and this is where we're going to have to plan flights. So if you click on, this needs to disappear. On the left side, you will get your specific thing. So we're going to take Havana, and we're going to say, hey, I want you to fly. We're going to have you fly out at, have you fly out at 9. Sure, why not? Now, as you see, this one does not have anything just yet, but we're going to say, I want Havana to be this one. I want Trinity to be this one, just like that. And now only Havana will land here, and Trinity will land here, and actually, that needs to change. Hold on. We're going to... You need to be Havana. You need to be Trinity. There. And then we just wait. That's it. So now we're going to go back to the tutorial. Now sit back, wait for the scheduled flights to happen. Like I said, I scheduled them at 9, so we'll wait for it to board everybody. Now people are going to start coming in, as you see here. They're pulling up in taxis. They're going to kind of wait in here a little bit. Give me a second here. Now, only one desk is open, but we just got another availability here, and we're gonna do. We can't do 9. It does have to be somewhat far out, and it does need a. I think it's a 30-minute turnaround time. Hold on, let me just do allow all airlines, just because I'm curious. It does need a 30-minute turnaround time. Okay, I was right. So we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna go back to Havana, and we're gonna do. Nope. 12:30. Gonna confirm that there. We're gonna go back to Havana, and we're gonna say, all right, well, Havana, we'll kind of have you back to back here. Now, this is where it's gonna get a little different in the game, only because it's you don't necessarily want things back to back, but it gets you more money quicker. Let me repair the one runway here. And we're just going to kind of let everybody do it. Handle their stuff here. And you know what? We're going to go... Can't remember. Do you have to go through security? I don't remember, man. Now we just wait. And that's it. And see, here's the first one. So this is going to say, well, we need service round. So that's where our service agents come out. They check the plane, make sure it's good, and then they're going to start the boarding. They've already deboarded 7 people. Now it's going to say, well, you need 4 people to board on here. I don't like how I placed that, but that's fine. And now we're just going to kind of wait. Boarding won't happen for a little while longer. We're just going to go read that. Bird. Now, I do want to mention later in the game, you are going to want some bird stuff to kind of take care of the birds. We want a 30-minute change here. And we're going to go back. We're going to do Havana, and we're going to do this. Now, I can't really book anything for the end of the day. I didn't build it very well. I'm going to do it at 5. We're going to reschedule this one. Reschedule this one. Now, the nice part is you'll get the same people typically. On every day. Now, see, I can't book it again because it's you can't do any flights during nighttime. Not until you research it. So we're going to kind of do that here. Confirm, reschedule, change. And now I am in the next day, just so everybody knows. So we're going to do this. Do 5. And then we're going to do Friday. Now, as you see... Oh, hold on. 8:30, right? Yeah, sure. We're trying to make these as tightly packed as possible. And we're going to do that. And the music in this game is okay. Yeah, it's okay. Thursday, yeah, Friday. Now, you want to kind of keep these guys as booked as possible to make sure you keep them happy. So we're going to go here, and we're going to do this. And we're going to do a 30-minute interval. Just like that. That's pretty much it. Now, as you see, they've taken off. They are leaving. There you go. That's it. All right. With that being said, we're going to end this episode here. We're just going to kind of save this game. I'm going to give this game it's a decent one. Like I said, it takes a good minute. As you see, it's been like 47 minutes here to kind of get everything done and taken care of. If you want an easier game, I recommend this one sometimes. It gets more complicated as you get on. But with that being said, it's still a fun game. Go check it out. There are some YouTubers out there that do some really, really good games with this. So thank you all so very, very much for watching today's episode of Solar Bro Reviews. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, depending when you're watching this, whether it be the day or night. And I hope you all have a good one. Goodbye, everybody.